It's time to put the horrid fairway woods to the test. We all know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, that I hate hitting fairway woods. So let's hope the fantastic looking Qi10 is the one for me. Remember, if you like our videos, please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends. Well, here we have it, Qi10. This is the range from Taylormade this year. There's been loads of noise about the driver and what that is. And when we get to product releases, it's really interesting because we all go after the driver and we all go after the iron and we all want to talk about it because that's the big stick, that's the fun stick, that's the stick that realistically everyone wants to upgrade because they want that extra 2.5 yards or whatever it is that any brand is promising this year. However, fairway woods sometimes get overlooked. The range of fairway woods gets overlooked, and that can be a problem because you end up just getting your focus and your attention on the driver, whereas what you really want to be looking at as well as is how does that fit in the rest of my bag and what options are available in that particular brand. Now, Qi10 has got 3 different heads this year. So we've got the standard, we've got the max, and we've got the tour. Now, 3 heads is a good thing and a bad thing. It can add confusion, it can add options, and making sure that you get the right combination of head depending on what loft of fairway wood that you want to hit, what flight of fairway wood you want to hit, and what shape you're trying to hit, doesn't necessarily mean that if you are a 5 handicapper, you need the tour head, and if you're a 25 handicapper, you need the max head. They are designed for ball flight, not handicaps. So what's the difference? Well, Qi10 is the standard head. It's their bread and butter. So you're going to get a pretty neutral flight out of this. There's not a lot of bias in the head. They are doing the glued heads as well this year, so there's not a lot of adjustability. Well, there's no adjustability, I say not a lot, there isn't. You can have a couple of different shaft options as well, but it does what it says on the tin. And when we hit this, I'll talk about the look and how that sits behind the ball. The next one is the max. So this is the one that with their driver this year that they are most interested in. They're the one that Taylormade have really kind of put their energy behind, shall we say. Yes, the Qi10 range, but the max version, they talk about the max driver being super, super forgiving. And this one, fairway wood, is no different. It's a little bit more draw bias. It's gonna pop the ball up in the air a little bit easier. It's gonna help that guy that might push the ball to the right. But that doesn't necessarily mean that in the lofted woods, where guys really struggle to get the ball up in the air, maybe a 5 wood and 7 wood, even though it's got more loft, that this one might be a better option. So really good, a little bit weaker in loft. So the 3 wood here is 16 degrees, the 3 wood here is 15 degrees. So a little bit difference in loft as well. But what's great is you've got 2 brilliant options depending on the flight, how you want the club to sit behind the ball, and so on and so forth. And then you've got this little beauty. So this is the Qi10 Tour. This normally, when Taylormade bring out a titanium head, this is normally a rocket ship. This thing normally absolutely flies. It comes out normally a little bit lower spinning. There's adjustability all over this thing. So you've got some weight tracks that you can shift at the back. You've got the sleeve that you can adjust up and down in loft and open and close the face, depending on what you want to do. A lot of guys will use this from the tee as well, sorry. So you'll see this club getting used quite a lot, peg down. Fairway finders, guys that struggle with driver maybe a little bit, might put this in the bag because you can get this thing flying out there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit all 3 and I'm gonna give you a little bit of feedback on what I'm seeing. Okay, so we're straight in and we're gonna start with the bog standard Qi10. V-Steel technology, been in Taylormade for years. I had one of these back when the original V-Steel came out. Lovely little black head, beautiful club. Wish I'd have got rid of it. That's back when they did steel shafts in fairway woods and drivers. That is a long time ago. So twist face technology, they've had that in the woods now for a while. Helps with those off-center strikes, low in the face, low in the heel, high in the toe. It looks like a Taylormade straight away. You know, there's not a lot you can do with a standard Taylormade head. It does sit quite nicely I'm not a big, we know I'm not a big fan of any fairway woods. That's just my ability, not anything to do with the brands. Feels solid. Feels really, really solid off the face. The one thing I didn't like about some of the Stealth product over the last couple of years was some of the woods, driver and fairway wood, felt a little bit dead sometimes when you hit it, and that's just a bit of feedback that I didn't like. I mean, there's twist face technology at work there. You can see, if I can come right into the screen there, you'll see that little wet ball, and I've hit it right out of the toe. Fantastic. So, this is one of them woods where I would typically go for the standard head in one of these woods. It's normally the way I like it looking, but one thing I've always struggled with a fairway wood over the years is getting the flight. I've always tend to want to feel like I hit it out the bottom of the club. I tend to struggle getting any decent flight, so I'm good off with the tee. On the tee they're all right, but here I'd really struggle. That one popped up a little bit higher, which was nice. A bit more central, which helps, I suppose. So in terms of the numbers, what we're looking at, I've got 100 mile an hour there in clubhead speed, 140. So that one's going out there 204. Not the longest. Maybe it's me. Getting a bit slower. Not the longest there, but nice all the same. I like the look of it. I like the little T, the little Taylormade detailing on the top. Actually frames it quite nicely. It's not too much, but it does set the golf ball up nice. Feels good, shaft feels good. I like the Ventus. I think it's a really good family of shafts. Oh, there we go. Just drop kick one for you there. That's the way you get it in the air. Look. Wow, how bad was that? Okay, so that's the standard head. So 357. Lots of options in that. Standard lofts, you know, it's a pretty standard wood. It's nice, it feels nice, but I think I really want to get into this max head. So this max head face is a little bit more elongated, a little bit lower profile. It's really designed, the head looks stretched out, if you like, so we've got more mass at the further back and away from the face. This is going to help pop the ball right up. Weaker loft as well, 16 degrees, a little bit more draw bias. This one is really all about forgiveness. This is all about, can you get that golf ball up in the air? Can you, on the miss hits, is the club going to stay more stable through the ball? And am I going to find more fairways and more greens? It does sit a little bit more closed at address. That is a given. You have to bear with me because this is glue product. I've only got this shaft here in the Speeder NX in the regular, so not my ideal choice of shafts. This is one of those ones that is either going to work brilliantly or I'm going to hit it so far left we're never going to find it again. A little bit more tinny off the face actually, I'm really interested. A little bit more tinny. It wasn't too bad. The only problem I find when I hit these draw bias clubs is that I'm fighting it going left. I can see it almost going left, so I end up hitting a few right for you. So let's try and hit a normal swing. No, it's me trying to save it, that's me. Come on, that was rubbish. Ball speeds are pretty good though. Not too dissimilar. You're not going to notice a massive amount of difference in terms of distance with these two clubs. I like the fact that the head's a little bit longer actually. I'm not normally that type of guy. I actually think it sits that shallow, slightly shallower face definitely suits my eye better. There she goes. That's a bit more like it. That was a lovely flight. So sometimes if you're quite a powerful player, then sometimes just having that weaker option in loft is actually quite helpful in a fairway wood. So that was a better flight. That was better. Okay, one more with the max. Nice, felt that. That was good. A little bit pushy, but overall I like the fact that this is allowing you to pop that golf ball up a little bit higher. it does give you that sense of confidence. I'm struggling there just because I think the shaft's a little bit too light for me, and I'm trying to glide the club head through the ball. But overall, you can imagine hitting that into the fairway, into the green and off the fairway, and getting it to stop quite quickly. Lots of options in terms of loft, but everything's slightly weaker than the standard head. Let's get into the rocket. Now, as I said earlier, this thing is really designed to get out fast, lots of adjustability. It is their rocket ship, if you like. The weight at the back here is designed to shift the weight from back to front. So moving it close to the face, further away from the face. Now why is that important? Well, that can affect a couple of things. Firstly, launch parameters. So you're going to hit it lower if the weight's further forward. Also spins as well. So depending on what you want to do, where you're going to use this type of club, then this particular one is going to be a little bit more adjustable and a little bit more customizable for the shape of shots you want to hit. A little bit more squatty in the face. So reminds me very much of a TSR3 as I look down in terms of the size of head and the difference when you come from the standard head to this. It's a bit more TSR3. Overall, yeah, it looks nice. It actually looks, if I'm honest, and I don't actually know if this is true or not, but it actually looks a little bit more like the original V-steel shape that I talked about earlier. It feels a bit, or looks a little bit deeper when you put it behind it. But again, like I said, it's going to be used a lot for tee as well. So let's see if we can get this in the air. Oh wow. I mean, I've absolutely hooked it 50 yards left, but. Oh, hello there. Hello, just found my new fairway wood. Right, let's another one. Let's see if we can get this. Let's see, get a bit more speed into this. Oh, there she's back. I got all excited. One shot, and I thought that was the one, and we've ended up hitting the same shot again. So you can see that land angle's coming in quite flat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit one more. And let's, just because we can, let's have a little play with this weight. So that land angle is a bit better. I'm going to shift this weight right to the front, just for a bit of a laugh. So we've got all the weight towards the face of the head, and I'm going to maintain, yeah, let's maintain loft. Let's not try and shoot myself completely in the foot. So we've now got a head weight that's right near the face. So this thing ideally is going to come out a little bit lower, a little bit punchier. Oh, lower it is, I missed it. Oh dear. Well, you guys must A, get really bored of seeing me talk, but B, get really even more bored of me hitting bad shots. Right, come on, let's hit a proper shot. Oh wow. That come out a bit low, didn't it? I mean, I'm going to love that on a links golf course playing into the wind. 16.5 degree land angle. One more, and then I'm going to try and do the opposite for you and pop that weight right at the very back. Oh wow! How powerful was that? So we've got the 102 mile an hour club head speed there. Let me get my key back. 32 land angle. So you can see that come out really, really punchy and really, really low. So let us, sound like I'm out of breath, it's just really cold today. Let us try and get that out, move that back. I wouldn't normally do this with a glove on, obviously, changing the weights and stuff. So I've moved the weight right back. So if I get that up to the camera, you can see there just how far back that weight is. Totally the opposite to what I had. So we would expect this now, this same club, to pop up in the air. And I think, although it was a bit pushy, so before we get loads of comments going, well, it went higher because you opened the face up and you hit it right. Yeah, I know that. But it did naturally go higher as well. Same loft, haven't played with the loft, still kept it at 15. There you go, now that is high. Now, this is the beauty when you get a golf club, that you can adjust head weight or positioning of weight and where it is. You can see now how high that popped up. So we've had a land angle from 32 to 45 just by me shifting the weight. All right, let's take out the ones that I really hit poorly, but that shows what this club can do and how adjustable this club can be in the right hands for the right golfer. So overall, Qi10, brilliant looking club, but who makes a bad looking club this year? No one makes a bad looking club. Performs really nicely. What you've got to make sure you do when you look at fairway woods is you get the right one to do the right job. Get that toolkit correct. So you might have a fairway wood, you might want to go, for example, you might have the 3 wood in the titanium, the tour head, because you want a bit more adjustability and you want to flight it down and you're going to use it more off the tee and you use it into more par 5s or whatever it is. But you might then want to look at the standard head or the max head in a 7 wood, because you're looking for a particular shot off a par 3, or you want to hit that shot into a slightly different flight, or the distance works better. So just because you go with the tour head in the 3 wood doesn't necessarily mean you need it in the rest of the fairway woods as well, which is really, really important. I think what Taylormade have done this year by giving you those 3 options, and there's clearly a very simple story across those 3, it is going to help you really tailor the top end of that bag. So it's now time to give the Qi10 fairway wood range the AFGolfStore rating. So guys, Qi10 range, I'm going to give it 1 rating. I think we're going to do it as a family. It'd be very easy to single that, and then maybe in future videos we'll do some head-to-heads with different brands, and we can kind of give it a different score and look at each individual head. But let's look at Qi10 as a family. Well, if we terms of look, well, I think there's something in there for everyone, which is lovely. So you've got the long, sort of stretched out head of the max, the standard looking head, and the squatty head of the tour. So there's something in there for everyone. Obviously that's designed with the ball flights that each of these clubs is provided. So it looks clean from the top, nice, nothing, no fuss, which I like, no crazy colors. You know, I said earlier about the stealth range, I couldn't get my head around the red in it, it just didn't work for me. This looks sleek, it looks classy, it looks almost understated from Taylormade, and that's not something you say about Taylormade very, very often, but it just looks neat, it looks tidy, and it looks good. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. In terms of feel, actually wasn't a big fan of the feel of the Max, although I see where its opportunity is in the market. I wasn't a big fan, it felt a bit tinnier. The one that felt better for me was the Tour, obviously. I hit that one better, so it's going to feel better, isn't it? That's how it works. But all of them were okay. There's not anything really to kind of say, wow, that was incredibly good. That was so much better than any other fairway wood. I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10. In terms of custom options, well, custom options is one thing. The ability to choose the right head and combination is another. I think what they've done with this family is allowed you as the golfer to make a choice on the types of ball flight that you want and picking the appropriate head to do that. Custom options in terms of shafts, yes, there's a few. Yes, they're different across all 3, so you have to be a little bit careful with that, but you can put them, you can get them customized and put them in each other. It's really about the flight that you want to produce. I think that's the critical bit. The distances you want to hit and the flights that you want to produce. So in terms of custom options, with the head choices available in the Qi10 range, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. In terms of price, again, we talked about this before in previous videos. Price, everything is going up in price. We know that. That's no excuse to just put it up to a crazy amount of money. However, compared to their competitors, Qi10 sits in a similar marketplace. It's expensive, golf's expensive, fairway woods are expensive, but I can't really shoot and score them down just because of that. So in the marketplace, they're very kind of sit where they need to sit. Tour is a little bit more expensive. You would expect that being the titanium head. So overall, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. In terms of overall performance, well, I loved Tour's performance because I was able to adjust the weight. The other two, okay, Standard was okay, I hit it pretty good, it was all right. Max, I was struggled with, but that was me. I think overall performance, this is going to work really well and complement the driver really nicely. I think you're going to see more of these in people's bags than hybrids this year. That's my bet. I keep saying this in videos, is that I'd rather see players with 7 woods and more lofted woods in their bags than I would hybrids. So overall performance, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. So the Qi10 family for 2024 is 38 out of 50. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. We're going to try and do some more fairway wood videos as well. We're going to try and get them out on the YouTube, and we're going to try and make sure that you're not just watching those driver videos and you've got some fairway wood videos and maybe even some hybrid videos to watch as well. If you like our videos, please hit that subscribe button. We're building a following, we're trying to build a following, and we would love you to come along that journey with us. So please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends.